Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome in to another edition of This Week at Phillies Baseball. I'm your host, James Scorza, with you. And joining me tonight with me as always, is a group of companions on a very, I guess I could say, a little bit of the dull days of summer gradually coming to an end. Alex Wright joining us here tonight, along with Connor Ochuida. Gentlemen, how are you? And hope everybody is well on this very important Monday to start off a new week.
Yeah, I'm doing great.
How you doing, Connor?
I'm I'm doing good. I got back in from a walk in my walker a few I want to say like a half hour ago. So I'm doing good, ready to talk some Phillies baseball. So
Yeah,
yeah, let's get it.
Yeah, it's gonna be yes tonight. The Philadelphia Phillies open up another series. This time in Chicago, taking on the White Sox. We'll dissect it all with the Phillies Red Sox series and the Yankees series. But I guess we're gonna start off with the most important. I guess the games that happened over the weekend. So. The Phillies taking 2 out of 3 out of the Yankees this weekend was something to be really positive about going into this game tonight against those White Sox up in Chicago. So the weekly recap we always talk about here. So overall, I guess I'll start with you, Connor. What was your of this breakout of this series? What was your takeaways from this takeout? What was your big takeaways from these two series between Boston and the Yankees in the past week?
I thought the Phillies showed that they could kind of play in that playoff atmosphere. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, they've been in the playoffs each of the last like I want to say like each of the last 3 years. So we know they can do it, but they further affirmed it. And also, I thought Ranger and Wheeler,
What's up, Mitch?
like despite not being their sharpest, I thought both of those guys really battled, and they kind of fought themselves at times. Obviously, Ranger came out with a win, and Wheeler didn't. But yeah, I thought all in all it was a solid 6 games for the Fighting Phils.
Yeah. I guess the thing that I took out of that series was it was much needed. I think with the Phillies, especially the week beforehand, to kind of look at it was a struggle up in before the All Star break with the Padres and also with the Giants in that series, along with the way too. Alex, same question to you. What were your takeaways from this series on between the Red Sox and the Yankees in the last week or so?
Yeah, it was everything that I expected the Phillies to begin with. I know on our last show we gave our prediction and we said that they would take 2 out of 3 for both series, and they did just that, which was a great sign overall. And they just dominated from start to finish. Um, the the past couple of games this past week, and I'm curious to see how they continue the stretch of games coming up in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, and I think for me that stood out to me the most was that I kind of feel like they finished what they started at the ending of the All Star break. Kind of felt like Schwarber right after hitting that home run, like basically winning that home run swing off in the All Star game, and that was pretty cool to see. And then that night before the Phillies started their second half of the season, when they took on I think that was the Red Sox. That's what it was. That's what it
The
was.
Angels.
Angels. Thank you, buddy.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So, that series was a little bit shaky though. But overall, though, the good thing about it is that just a little bit of a celebration of next year's All Star game coming to Philadelphia. So it'll be something to keep a close eye on, especially when those next months come around, and also a big historical for the city of Philadelphia too, as well, especially for the bicentennial and all that too. So my second question I want to ask you guys here tonight is that this is a standout performances. I know it was a little shaky series for the Phillies with the Red Sox and all, and I can understand too, but if there was there anybody that stood out to you more than anything with this Phillies and Yankees series or the Phillies Red Sox series in the last week, Connor?
For For me, and if you guys saw my Phillies and I believe Yankees preview, I said my player to watch was Kyle Schwarber on the Phillies side, just simply because of that short porch in right field. Um, yeah, like Kyle Schwarber, absolutely. I thought he had himself a whale of a series. It was just such a treat watching him play these last 3 days, or 2 out of the last 3 days. He had really good games. And then in the third game, he was kind of not so great. But I mean, you'll take a standout performance from one of your best players against what's historically one of the best teams in baseball. Obviously, the Yankees are kind of battling in that AL wild card, but um, yeah, I thought um, Kyle Schwarber lived up to his bill.
Yeah, lived up to the hype. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Connor, I'm sorry, Connor. Alex, rather. Is there any standout performances you had during the week for this Phillies team between the Red Sox or the Yankees series this weekend?
I would have to go with Christopher Sanchez. Um, Tuesday night, when the Phillies beat the Red Sox 4-1, he had out 4 hits in the complete game victory, and he just pitched amazing from start to finish in that game, and was definitely locked in. And it was great to see how he developed his velocity throughout the game, and he definitely pitched a heck of a game.
Yeah, it was a fun game to watch indeed. I mean, having a complete game is kind of like an unknown anymore, especially in this day and age of baseball when you think about it. Wheeler had that towards the end of the All Star break, and it was pretty cool to see that too. But for me, the standout performances for me this week, I'm in the same boat as you guys. I'm in the same boat as like a two-way player. I can say either Kyle Schwarber or Christopher Sanchez because I mean, I gotta say right now, Sanchez is just doing a fantastic job, and he's back on the hill tonight against the White Sox. So I'll be anxious to see what he has in store after that complete game this week. But Schwarber, on the other hand, I mean, right after that All Star break, it looks like I would have thought maybe like the All Star break would have a little bit of a slump in his game because like if you probably saw my Pass and F Sports show maybe around 2 weeks ago when Schwarber was not a part of the home run derby, we were like, whatever you do, do not go on the home run derby because it will start to have some sluggish in his game. But overall, though, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat as you guys. I thought they both Sanchez pitched very well last week against the Red Sox, and also Schwarber doing his job, especially this weekend with the Yankees too, more than anything like that. So this is the question I want to ask you guys too. Here, this is a very good question. I like this.
You, uh, James, you're frozen. Damn. Uh, Technical difficulties. Live. This is what you get with live TV, folks. Oh man. Uh, um. Oh man. Oh God. Wait, hold on. Oh, I just hold on. Wait. Um, he said James said he just lost signal, so um he'll he'll be back as soon as he can, and we'll see if we can get this kind of back on track. But yeah, I thought the Phillies and Yankees, or the Phillies in both the Red Sox and Yankees series, rather, played some pretty good baseball. Obviously, had two clunkers to kind of end both those series, but beyond that, I mean, 4 wins in 6 games you'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on JT Realmuto and his performance the past couple of games?
Oh, good question. I thought JT played really well. It's good to see him kind of come back into form for sure. But yeah, I mean, this is not kind of this is the JT Realmuto the Phillies will need if they want to go deep in October. And
Yeah, definitely.
he showed that. And like he showed that when he's on his game, he can be one of the best players in the game. So
Yeah.
um, so having him play the way that he did was absolutely huge.
Yeah, it was huge for him, not only offensively but defensively. He was big time.
Yeah. Um. Hopefully James can kind of get back in here soon. But until oh,
I'm
I,
here. I'm
I
here.
think I think he's back.
No, it's me. It's Mitch.
Oh shoot. So
It's Mitch. Yeah, he lost signal. I'll be here until he gets back.
oh awesome. But yeah, he was gonna ask us a question, and then his signal went out.
Here, I got you. Give me a second here.
You good?
Philly posting show. There we go. Oh, it looks like he is on the player spotlight here. So
Yeah.
let's start off with Alex here. Who do you think's the player spotlight within the past week?
I would definitely say Kyle Schwarber. I, there's multiple ones that I could say, but Kyle Schwarber has been one of the biggest spotlights in the last couple of games. Offensively, he's been hammering the balls, and the performances that he gives day in and day out are incredible. And I'm excited to see how he is in the coming series this week.
Yeah, for me it's Kyle Schwarber as well too. I just think he's been kind of tearing the cover off the ball, and in my previous point with JT Realmuto, this is also like it's big for Schwarber too, not only for his contract status, but like it's big for him. It's going to be big for if he can show that he's still like the playoff performer that he's been the past 3 years. I think that would be huge for the Phillies, and I guess my player spotlight over this next week is also Kyle Schwarber as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how he fares against some not so great White Sox pitching.
Yeah, I think it's clear. I think it's a clear. What is the word? Clear, clean sweep. I guess you could say. I think it's. I'm going with Kyle Schwarber as well. I don't even watch Phillies that much, but whenever I get to see him this week, it's just like it was crazy what he's been doing. Do you guys think we're going to be able to bring him back? That is the question. Connor, I'm going to start off with you.
I do. I just think I think he's one of those guys that you kind of you want to pay a blank check to. And just because of what he brings not just on the field but off the field as well. I I do I do think they'll be able to bring him back. The numbers just got to be right. So I'm not too worried about it.
How about you, Alex? Are you kind of worried about Kyle Schwarber with the Phillies bringing him back, or nah, you're good?
Um, I don't see anyone else. It's hard to see him in any other baseball jersey. I just feel like he's the best fit for Philadelphia, and I really hope he stays put. And uh, we'll see what happens in the coming days. But I'm just really glad that he's a Philadelphia Philly and he's a big boost to the offense.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with you on that. It's just like money. Well, I was going to say money doesn't grow on trees, but technically it does grow on trees. So that statement's out the window. But there's a lot of players that need to be paid, a lot, and yeah, I think Scorza got to be the number one get or asset. There we go.
Yeah, and I think as someone such as yourself who doesn't watch the Phillies often, Mitch, Kyle Schwarber is just one of those guys like a Bryce Harper that you'd consider box office. Like you just stop what you're doing. If Kyle Schwarber's at the plate, you turn to your TV to see what he's going to do. So I definitely see them bringing Schwarber back for sure.
All right, sounds good. Who now? It's the bullpen watch. Ugh. I'm not a big fan of our bullpen. I can tell you that right now. I'm not the biggest fan of our bullpen. So, Alex, is there any pitcher you want to talk about in our bullpen that's been good this past series?
Yeah. I feel like Owen Corcoran and Matt Strom have been pretty decent. I just feel like the whole bullpen situation for the Phillies at the moment is unpredictable because each and every game is interesting to see the outcome based off of how the pitching is, and the bullpen picture for the Phillies at the moment is definitely interesting to watch, and it should be interesting to see what moves they make before the deadline on Thursday.
All right, James, welcome back.
Yeah.
Sorry, fellas. I had a little bit of a technical glitch in here. Kind of like I guess my computer's like old school cowboy standard time or something like
that. Not that. Not anything but that.
You're good.
It's like a Windows 98. I apologize with that, but thanks a lot, Mitch. I appreciate it,
that
brother.
Was the last time. Wait, hold on. You said 98. The Cowboys win the Super Bowl in 98, so we're good.
Yeah, it's not compatible to this day and age. I don't know what happened. So,
man, it's all good. We were on player spotlight. So
cool.
I'm gonna let you guys finish up, and I'll catch you guys later. They both picked Schwarber, by the way. So
yeah.
All right.
Thanks, brother.
Yep.
All right, so I guess the player spotlight for you guys. I guess I guess you guys can finish your thoughts on that one, so I can try to retrace my thoughts what I just lost. So
Alex, do you want to start, or do you want me to kind of?
Yeah, I can start. I was just saying to Connor that Kyle Schwarber has been one of the brightest spotlights recently. In my opinion, he's a complete player in the batter's box. He's just raking the way he has been doing, and he's seeing the ball great day in and day out. And I'm really anxious to see how the Phillies plan for him in the future with his re-signing situation, and I'm curious to see if he somehow gets traded or doesn't. But I'm just really anxious for everything.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. So for me, the one player spotlight for me was the real positive that came out of it during the week was Kyle Schwarber, like you mentioned, Alex, and also Christopher Sanchez, like we brought up before too. For me, I guess I'll go one step closer. I'll say the player spotlight for me is that the bats are. I think the majority of the bats were coming alive too, especially in these last couple games. It was cool to see. Actually, I thought it was really good to see how they look forward with that stuff. Christopher Sanchez, like I mentioned, like we brought up before I blipped out of here. For me, I think what really sticks out to me the most is that if they can sustain this like for the next couple games or so, I mean, beating good teams like the Red Sox and the Yankees that are in that postseason contention, I mean, that's something to be to basically to tip your cap on, especially more than anything with the take a 2 out of 3. But the question I was going to ask you guys before I lost my signal here was, why is it that the Phillies can't get over the hump of trying to sweep teams when they take 2 out of 3? I mean, are you concerned about that, or you think we should be okay with just 2 out of 3 majority of the time?
Yeah, I feel like every time that you get to go up against a great opponent like the Yankees, the mentality is to go 2-3, and yeah, you just don't want to go overboard and think that it'll be a sweep. The first thought that comes to your mind, and I feel like that each and every series in the next few couple of months towards Red October is going to be really crucial for them to take as many 2 to 3 series wins as possible to get the division tight with the Mets and the way that they've been playing. And I'm curious to see how that shapes up once late September hits.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Connor, you got anything?
yep. Like Alex was saying, like it's very hard to sweep a team like the Yankees or Red Sox, especially when you've already taken 2 from them. Their their mentality is like their mentality is getting swept is embarrassing,
Mhm.
and that, that's what it is for all quality like major league teams and major league players. Is it's like they take it as a personal like attack or a slight if they get swept. So I'm I would love to sweep the Red Sox or the Yankees, but
Mhm.
at the same time you got to be happy with 2 out of 3.
Right. Yeah. All right. So let's try to move on here. As we again, so the thing about it too, I was going to talk about the bullpen watch, but I said I don't even feel like when I bring up Jordan Romano again. It's been like a running dialogue with him every chance I get with all the too close to conference and all that too. So for me, I guess I'll ask you guys this question here, and I'll ask you one more question in regards to this. And so Jesus Luzardo, right, the real big story that he has been. I mean, the beginning of the season, he looked well. He looked like he was like really stepped up his game, and then the last couple games have been really, uh, basically just I wouldn't say really that was a real cause for concern the last couple games. So, Alex, I'll ask you this question: if you are the Phillies right now, especially when this trade deadline is looming, do you put Jesus? Do you look to find another starter, or do you find, or do you? I mean, simply put, is like what do you think has been going on with Jesus Luzardo as of lately?
Yeah, firstly, I think that Luzardo is in a situation where he's just been off lately, and the way he's pitching, his velocity is down. Uh, he just doesn't feel strong like himself lately, and I feel like that's been a big issue for this Phillies rotation of him uh, not being consistent on a weekly basis, and
Hmm.
he needs to start to figure out what's wrong with what he's doing and get better at what he's doing. And the second part of your question, what was the second part?
No, it was just more like I was kind of figuring if the Phillies can get a if the Phillies can look for a starting pitcher in the. I mean, would that be an option to put Jesus Luzardo in the bullpen, or would you like? Or would you see what you do in the trade deadline? Because I'm trying to figure out like what can we do to can try to fix Jesus Luzardo because it feels like it's been a running trend for the last couple of starts here. Gonna admit.
Yeah, I'm not that worried about him losing his rotation job. I feel like he's going to figure it out the next couple of starts he gets, and I think the the mind of the Phillies front office is bullpen help, and it's definitely going to be a bullpen type of deadline for the Phillies, and whatever they get is going to be a great addition. I can just feel it already, and there's just less talk of adding a solid starter. And I don't think they need to go that route. I feel like they just need to stay put in the bullpen type of situation and see how it goes from now until Thursday at the deadline. And it'll be interesting to see what direction they take.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Connor.
I don't think you need to move Jesus Luzardo. I just think he just kind of needs to like do whatever he needs to do, like take a breath, kind of recalibrate himself, and then he'll be fine.
Yeah.
I just think this guy's an absolute gamer. So I would
sorry to interrupt
rotation in any way. I do think the Phillies will be shopping for some bullpen help though.
Yeah, Alex, you got something?
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. It's exactly the same type of situation for Taijuan Walker because he's definitely been off and on, just like Jesus has been, and I feel like Taijuan Walker is finding himself again with his velocity lately, and I'm feeling strong about Jesus's next start and the way he's going to pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess we're going to talk about the trade deadline here since it's looming on July the 31st, this Thursday coming up soon. So, for me, I mean, I guess I'll ask you guys this question, and this is like a three-part. This will be a question for the whole entire room here. Do you think Dabrowski is making any more moves in the trade deadline as we get closer and closer to the trade deadline? Alex, I'll start with you first.
Sorry, can you
repeat that?
Sure, I'm sorry. Sorry, no, it's all right. Sorry about that. No, I was asking what kind of moves do you think Dabrowski will make on July 31st at the trade deadline?
What I said earlier is that they're going to focus on bullpen help, and I guess they'll get the best bullpen arm on the market and see how it goes from there. And I'm curious to see if they add any help offensively before the deadline. But as the days are going by, I just feel like that the Phillies are going to stay put with the bullpen help and not go much farther than that.
So, Connor, I'll ask you this question too. You think any moves that you think Dave Dabrowski is going to make any moves on Thursday afternoon?
Yeah, I think he's going to try to shore up this bullpen because obviously Alvarado is not eligible for the postseason. So if you can get a guy like a postseason a like postseason kind of stopper or closer, I guess. That would be a huge get, but I don't know how realistic that is, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think for me, what Dave Dabrowski is just try to do something, just, I mean, you think about the Eagles, what they did with Saquon Barkley, you think about the Flyers, what they brought in with like a Trevor Zegras, and I mean, the Sixers are just the Sixers, like I always say with a couple buddies of mine that I would say, but overall, the one thing I want Dabrowski to do is that if there's a player there, like try to, I mean, it's not hard to ask like a question about Stephen Kwan. I mean, yeah, now Emmanuel Clase will be off the board after that betting scandal that happened actually today, rather. So he'll be something that will be a very, I I guess we want to be taking I want to be sure that Class A will be on the market, obviously now, because due to that betting prop that happened during the day here today. So for me, Dabrowski, I just want him to do is just like there's like one player that's out there that the Phillies are rumoring with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and that is I forget how to say his name.
Eugenio.
Eugenio Suarez. There we go.
Yeah.
They try to say that 10 times fast. Oh my god!
Yeah.
So, God, that was awful. I mean, thank you for that. No, but the thing, I don't understand. I don't think he fits in with the Phillies, honestly, to say the least. Because you have to think about it. I mean, you got to move. Like you probably have to move Bohm from first to move from third baseman to first. The other thing too is that like I don't think it's gonna work. But overall, I mean, would you guys take a move on it? Would you bring this guy in if the price was right? Connor, what? I'll start with you.
I don't think so. I think Alec Bohm's your third baseman. I I don't think bringing in a guy like Eugenio Suarez is he. I don't know if he's enough of a defensive upgrade over Bohm, and he's been pretty solid defensively. So I don't think bringing in Eugenio Suarez would be the move for the Phillies to make.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm right there with you. Same question to you, Alex. You think the Flyers will Flyers? I mean, the Phillies rather. But that's a little bit of a sneak peek coming up very very soon here on this network. So I guess I probably took the cat out of the bag. But overall, no. All joking aside, though, you think Eugenio Suarez will be a good fit for the Phillies, Alex? You think the Phillies should try to reach out to him if the price was right?
I don't. Yeah, I don't think they should. I think they should just keep it as it is. Um, they have Otto Kemp that they can uh, put him at third base on some nights and switch back and forth with Bohm uh, when he needs a night rest or something or injury situation. But I just feel like Suarez's fit, if he came to Philadelphia, wouldn't be as great as what people in Philly expect. And
Mhm.
I love what the picture of the fielding is for the Phillies at the moment, and
Yeah.
I don't think they should at all move anything.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that. I mean, for me, I talked about this maybe a couple weeks ago. Maybe I think it was around the time trade deadline was looming, and I said maybe Stephen Kwan will be a good piece to fit, especially in that left field corner. Obviously, you think about it right now. I mean, with Kwan too, he's young. He's also very effective. I mean, Suarez, gonna admit, he's like 34 years old, so you might probably have 1 or 2 years left with him, if that. I mean, it's kind of like a Paul George situation without saying the name. But I think the one thing that sticks out to me the most with Suarez is that, I mean, you have to move like pieces around. I mean, you have to move like Bohm around. You have to move Harper. You have to move Castellanos, and it's like, and even like, I mean, just saying right now, I mean, if he's your DH, you're basically telling Schwarber, "Nice knowing you," and he's basically going to go somewhere else. I mean, that's gonna be the one thing that really bothers me the most what Dave Dabrowski's doing right now because it's like because I don't know what he's capable of trying to bring this team to. Like, if this team is going to be a World Series contender, you got to find players that could fit the bill instead of trying to rebuild more than anything. Um, so yeah, I mean, Connor, I want to ask you this question because I know you were a big fan of Dave Robertson coming back to the Phillies here. So, what are your thoughts about Robertson coming back in Phillies pinstripes for the second time in his career?
Yeah, I like it. Third time looks to be the charm. I like um hopefully he can kind of go till his arm falls off. I think it's a quality piece. This is a guy who was with us during our playoff run in 22. he picked up some big outs that year. So I think if he still has gas left in the tank, which it seems like he does, I think this could turn out to be a sneaky good move for Dave Dombrowski, Preston Mattingly, and that front office.
Yeah, that's a very good point by you. So Alex, same question to you. What's your reaction hearing the news about Robertson coming back to the Phillies pinstripes?
Yeah, I love it. I think that he'll get another opportunity to be even better than he was when he was with the Phillies in the past, and I'm curious to see how well he does, and if he does even better than what he has been doing with the Phillies, and it should be interesting.
Yeah, it would be very interesting to see what he looks like, especially. But I mean, for me, Robertson. I mean, it was good to know he came back to the Phillies. I mean, I thought it was a good move. I mean, but I mean, the age is kind of like a fallen circle here because obviously he's like 40 years old. But I'll say right now, I mean, I liked it. I mean, if this was like a couple of years ago and you're trying to somebody in for like to try to fit that bullpen, but overall right now, I'm not saying that like this move was like needed. I mean, but I know you need bullpen help. But my 2 cents is I would go after somebody that's like probably like younger, like Jared Bednar is a good example of the Pirates, or maybe not Class A now, like we brought up earlier, but more like somebody in that somebody that's a closer, but at the same time too, that's not going to be like not going to be a reach, if you know what I mean too. So that's
Yeah.
going to be the most important thing.
Yeah, I think David Bednar would be a really solid move if the Phillies were able to pull it off.
Mhm.
I just think he and Santana. I think the Pirates' price might be a little too high in terms of like prospects and stuff. But
Right.
if Dombrowski can pull it off, that I'd be fine with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll be fine with it too, more than anything like that. All right, before we get out of here, we will talk about tonight's upcoming series preview with the Phillies and the White Sox. That's set for 3 games at Guarantee Rate Field in Chicago. So tonight, Christopher Sanchez goes tonight for the Phillies. Overall, I mean, that's the one thing that if once Sanchez is on the mound, you kind of figure that the Phillies will win that game tonight. But overall, what are your expectations with this upcoming series with the White Sox? And I don't know who they play after that, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if they come home. Maybe I'll double check real quick if I could, may.
They play Detroit at home.
Detroit, there you go. That's right. So that's a good question. That'll be my segue here. So what are your expectations for the Phillies doing against the White Sox and the Detroit Tigers this weekend for Wall of Fame weekend? You can go ahead, Connor.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No,
I'll say they sweep the White Sox, which I'm never I almost never say because sweeps are never guaranteed in baseball, but the White Sox aren't very good, and I'd say they take 2 out of 3 from the Tigers.
So you're saying they'll do well with Screwball on the mound, and also they're and Hunter Green and all the others. So if they take 2 out of 3, I'll be okay with that. If they take 2 out of 3 with the Tigers, so that'll be something to keep a close eye on. Alex, same question to you. What are your expectations against the 2 teams from the AL Central this coming tonight, and also on the weekend of Hall of Fame, Phillies Wall of Fame weekend?
First off, I think that the Phillies definitely sweep the White Sox. There's no question in my mind that the White Sox will win the game against them with the pitching ability for the Phillies and the fire offensive power. They're just too good to not lose any game in this series. And the White Sox are a bad team this year, and they just don't have the capability of being consistent throughout all 9 innings in each of the games.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. You got anything, Connor? You got anything to add, buddy?
Yeah, I think the Phillies. I think they'll have a pretty good weekend. I think they'll go, like I said, 5 out of 6, and if well, as always, we'll see what happens. But 5 out of 6 is my prediction for this week.
Yeah, definitely. For me, I would see hopefully the Phillies sweep the White Sox. Like you said, the White Sox are not the same team as they once were. I know for sure a couple times during the weekend. I mean, they're not. I mean, last year was like a bad season for the White Sox. I mean, obviously you thought about those losses that they had, and it was like historical what they tried to accomplish last year. For me, I would see the Phillies hope they sweep the White Sox. That would be something on my bucket list, and I would hope the Phillies would take 2 out of 3 with the Tigers, but that all depends on if Scruple's on the mound, and also what they have in store with the other team, like other players in their lineup more than anything. So, I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, I would love to see this will be a World Series preview between the Tigers and the Phillies because there are two young teams that are moving in a positive direction, and hopefully it'll be something to look forward to in the next topics here, and also next topic here, and also the next show here. So, yeah, that's gonna probably do it for us here tonight. That's gonna wrap up this portion of This Week in Phillies Baseball. Want to thank Alex Reich and also Connor Ochuida for joining us here again tonight. Guys, like I always ask you guys, where we'll see you next, and where can we find you at? Connor, you can go first, buddy.
Yeah. For me, it's Sports Live in the 215 on all social media: YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the things. And tomorrow I'll recap Game 1 of this series and preview Games 2 and 3.
Excellent.
So that on Sports Live in the 215 on YouTube.
Yeah, Alex, same question to you. Where can people find you and where can they see you next?
You can find me on my personal Twitter account over at AlexRich123. My football podcast, the Blitz Take 123. Hube Talk Fanatics is my basketball podcast, and the Dugout Report is my baseball podcast. I have a interview with a 2026 NFL Draft Smart Scope prospect tonight at 10:15.
Nice.
Yeah. And then tomorrow night I have a college football podcast with a special guest.
Oh, cool. That's awesome,
Yeah.
man. So all the best luck with that, man. So that's really cool.
That's
So
awesome.
what's that?
I was just saying that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome to see. All right, so that's going to wrap us up here for tonight for this portion of This Week in Phillies Baseball. Like we always do here on the social media platforms, hit that like and subscribe button on all your social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and everything about that included. Now, for everyone behind the scenes and for everyone made it work here, for Connor, for Alex, for myself, and my damn computer, like my great dad's band would say, damn the computer, I'm James Scorza, and we'll see you next time. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Stay cool and stay well, everybody. Talk to you soon.